because it wasn't right. So I actually put a insert in here because that was indeed stripped out. And it's in with JB Weld. So we got this shined up again. Should be good. What a pain in the neck. I'll bring you up live here. The other video I'm probably just going to delete, so please ignore that. It's not coming up. Hang on. I'm going to try to bring you up over there on the other phone. That way you can see what's up. That way I can see what's up as far as like live goes for chat. If anybody wants to chat, we can chat much easier that way. Come on. So what I'm going to do is I got to put new bearings in, new everything again. Oh well. I'm just looking for my own stream again, just so I can bring up the live chat. And it's not coming up for some reason. I don't know. Are we up? Is anybody here? Nobody's here. Live for 2 minutes and nobody's here. Don't worry, we'll get to it. I'll bet nobody's gotten the notification bell yet. Says nobody's here. Dark cloud. Getting a high pitch. Yeah, the high pitch, that's the ultrasonic in the background. See, it always comes up on my home page, and it says there's 0 people here. How many people are here? Yeah, Dark Cloud. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm gonna throw brand new bearings in this again and a different crank because the last crank was screwed up. I just didn't want to leave the whole thing as kind of a crappy thing. You know what I mean? All right, so whatever. I'll pull this apart while we're waiting. So, brand new bearing. So I just 2 hours ago put in brand new bearings in this thing, and I'm gonna have to do it again because and throw the old ones out because I pulled them apart. I don't believe in reusing bearings when you've put lateral forces on them. So the nice part about these is that you don't got to worry about anything because they're relatively inexpensive. These are just Nachi 6203s. Not a big deal. Just pull the seals out. Get the anti-seize going. Sorry, I can't see chat because it's not up here yet. There we go. anti-seize around here. Doesn't need much. We'll pull these bearings in cold. Showed how to do it before. I'll show how to do it again. Don't hit the inner race, just tap the outer. You're not trying to get it in there really. You just want it reasonably oriented. Need to have a nice set of washers, and I use 1/2-inch threaded rod. You can use a 1/2-inch bolt too. Basically does the same thing. See, it's just a press. All you're going to do is make a press. All that is. Crank it on down. It should go nice and smooth. Not cocked. If it's cocked to one side, you want to reset it. If it's going smooth, it's going smooth. Flywheel side is different from PTO side. We'll get to the PTO side in a second. That's it. Turn it around. Go the other way. Yeah, I'm probably going to delete the last stream from 2 hours ago because nothing really went as good as I wanted. So this is not a cooking show. I don't have everything laid out perfect. I'm going to put, this is an old oiler. No, what's very important is no rubber or anything in there. Just put the oiler down bare, you know. Hey, John. Did I ever get a 288 crank? No. I've heard about them. And I forget who it was that was talking about them, but I've certainly heard about them, but I've never actually seen one. M3. Does not need to be in tight. Yeah, the thing with the 288 cranks is that the 288 and 394 are the same crank. However, yeah, the 394 can be like a millimeter bigger on some of them. I don't think on all of them, because I certainly had some that go back and forth easy. Yeah. So the oiler now provides a positive stop for the bearing. Now it may just go flush too, but in this case we definitely have a stop. Yeah, the black cases look really good. They really do. And I thought I had chased all the holes before, but I guess I hadn't, so whatever. This one now has an insert in it, which is just stronger than original anyway, so it doesn't, you know, no harm done there. And just a touch of anti-seize around here. Same deal, you're going to grab your nut and washer and the whole bit here. This nut washer bolt. I like my fender washers. They're a little bit on the bigger side, but a little thin, so you need a number of them here. Reposition too, like if this isn't exactly on center, then now I can feel it going smoother. Steel scrunch. I don't think so. I think it's a Husky clone scrunch. I don't have one with a T27. Some those are nice to have too. I hope I don't have to put any more bearings in. These are brand new, again, for the second time. Okay. What I should have done before was just make sure to get a, make sure to try these, because that got kind of, the crank got screwed up too, so that thread's fine. This I've already tested. I'm gonna pull these out. Pull the oiler bolts here. Pull the oiler off because you're going to need to put the screws in. Case bolts. So if anybody's here, other than John, and was it Dark Horse? Yeah, you're welcome to chime in and ask questions. That's kind of the whole fun of this. So now I can just use the crank tool here and pull this in. Should be able to get in case anybody hasn't seen these crank tools, anybody hasn't seen these crank tools, you can of course contact me about them if you're interested in purchasing them. I do make them and sell them. You can contact me through mattschainsawparts.com. I don't have the tools on the website yet, but that will be there eventually. Rod goes on. The sleeve only catches the inner race, not the outer race, so there's no lateral forces on the bearings, which is super key, by the way. Everything on my magnetic tray here. So sleeve on, handle goes on, washer, and nut. And now you can suck the crank right into the bearing with no lateral forces on the bearing. What got screwed up? The thread on the crank got screwed up so much so that I couldn't put a nut on there, an OEM nut. I wasted an OEM nut trying that off camera. And then this bolt hole was messed up. I put an insert in it. It's fine now. It better be fine. Just crank it on down. That's it. All you gotta do. Reverse it. So two kind of major things got screwed up, and I'm probably just going to delete the stream later. Spent all day prepping for this, so oh well. I'd rather have confidence that the bearings are in and everything's good. Take it all apart. Basically, you're ready to rock there. So keep this out. Don't need this anymore. Don't need this, that. A couple things away here. My bench tends to get really clogged with just extra stuff that I don't need. So now what we do is we actually go and do the Loctite thing. Did I try to recut the... No, I didn't. There was no point. I needed to pull it apart anyway. I just tossed the crank in the garbage. I'm not going to bother with it. You could use one of those a split die that goes down and then basically back it off. That would be pretty cool, but yeah, it's just not worth it. Not worth it. Okay, now 1184. So I'm going to goop the whole thing up. So I'm not Loctiting the two front bolts here because I'm going to have to undo the whole thing later anyway, because I'll put the dog on at a later date. Really, I just wanted to check squish. That's kind of what we're going for here. So I want this to tack while I'm doing the other side. picky about this as you want to. The 1184 is pretty good because you can just let this sit for a couple minutes. It's not a big deal. It's as picky as you want to be. Almost good here. Beauty. Okay. Now, this thing together in a jiffy because I've already practiced it today. Anchor operator. I'm about to freshen up my number 372 Peace River. What's the Loctite? What is the Loctite thing? Not the brand new 575 never fueled. John, I don't know. I mean, what are you going to use it for? That's the question. Anyway, I'm about to freshen up in 372. Okay. Tear it apart. If it's older, there's nothing wrong with tearing it down, slapping some new bearings in it, I try to recut what is Loctite thing? Yes, I'm live, Maggie. What's up?
What do you think we should get for dinner? Five Guys or pizza?
Let's do Five Guys.
No. I meant five corners.
Oh, that is different. I'll be up in a little bit though, okay? Mm-hmm. All right. This is blue Loctite in there. Not doing blue Loctite in there because again, I'm going to have to take the bolts out later. These bolts are going to be in. That's the plan anyway. And this is 3 bonds 1184 that goes on here for the case gasket. So now I need to bring the case gasket. Did that answer the question? I'm sorry. I do my best to answer questions. Partially my brain is a little scrambled because I'm in the middle of this, but do my best. Okay, so positioning pins. Those go in. 1, 2. Those are important. New bearings, rings, seals, anything rubber, yeah, that's fine. Good. Reasonable to me, and it's relatively inexpensive to do. Not a bad job. I've done lots of 372 stuff, and there's lots of, if you need help, there's lots of 372 stuff on my channel. I haven't checked lately how many videos I have now, but it's, last I looked, it was like over 800. So there's lots. And 372 is certainly a very popular model on my channel. So been doing a lot of 288 lately, but nothing wrong with 372. Okay, good new bearings, crank, everything's gooped, Loctited. Should I look into porting well in there? Yeah, no harm in that. It depends on how adept you are at getting stuff done. If you are adept at rebuilds, then go for the whole thing yourself. If you're not, then just send it to a builder and just have them go all the way through it. You could certainly do that and do a little bit of port work while you're in there. Anything that needs to be corrected. That's a good time to do it. Always nice to do things on your terms rather than waiting for the saw to dictate terms to you. You know. Okay. Sleeve. M10 by 1.0, M12 right hand, M12 by 1.25 left hand for the clutch side. Large sleeve, small rod, but that's okay. I did forget there is a small, because I didn't use it last time. I need a handle. Where's my handle? If you need a set of rebuild tools, just give me a shout through my website is fine, mattschainsawparts.com. Well, everything should be smooth. Okay, tighten this down. This just gets sucked right in. No heat, no craziness, no waiting. You can wait if you want. You can take a phone call in the middle. It doesn't really matter. You really do want to get those positioning pins lined up. Good. There's also nothing wrong with sticking the screws in, you know? Like this rear screw here. Just to make sure everything's kind of lined up. Nothing wrong with that. Does the 3-bond harden up in the tube? I get a lot of time out of mine. Do you recommend bearings in the freezer first? No. I don't. I mean, you can. The issue with bearings in the freezer first is it does pull in moisture. It would, which is a reasonable question to ask. It's like, well, if you're doing it this way, you're going to be pulling in moisture. All the way down. And this will go. That's it. If you want, you can throw your bolts in now. Bolts. So yeah, 3-bond I get some time out of rather than Durco. I have zero personal experience with Durco. Some guys use it and love it. I mean, it's steel factory OEM stuff, so take that information as you want it to. Feel this all by hand here. There we go. There's 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do the rear one. We'll move move to the front here. This one. Now you do have to be careful sometimes. If the dog's not on, it might bottom or tend to bottom. Let's see, where does this go? It might tend to bottom without the dog. So let's add another washer here. So I kind of want to use a couple of washers just to simulate kind of dog thickness, if you will. And we're just kind of putting these in until it cures. Now you can reverse this. Now your crank's in. Dismantle the whole thing. Your crank's installed. That's as easy as it gets. No heat, no torches, no heat guns. No need for any of that stuff. You can certainly put your bearings in the freezer and do the hot cold thing. That's up to you. But I find that doing this just cold with making a press and this way is just fine. And if things are a little bit tight, you can always tap back and forth, but generally I don't do that. If you're always, suspicious of something not being quite right, you can always, you can actually heat the case up. I've done that too. This is tight, this will be fine. The algorithm worked for you. I just subbed. Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks a million. Sift through 372 is probably where some assembly tools. Fantastic. Yeah. So just to give you an idea, contact me through my website. It's mattschainsawparts.com. But just to give you an idea, what I usually sell to people is what's called a main kit. A main kit is 4 of these rods, 2 sleeves, and it covers about 90% of the chainsaws out there. I have 372 specific kits if you want that are obviously less expensive, but they kind of become redundant if you upgrade to a main kit. The thing about these kits is that once you have a kit, you're not going to stop building saws. So, as soon as you get through your first one, it went pretty good, you're not going to stop building. So that's why I usually sell main kits to people, because they end up doing 372s and 660s and 026s and a 3120 or 395 and then a 346 or anything like that. It covers all that stuff. So you can, let's do a 262. Okay, it's in there. It'll cover that. So I designed it. It's not a completely universal kit. It's just, it does a lot of what you want it to do. And so to give you an idea, main kit these days is $200 shipped to the lower 48 states. And yeah. More of a master kit. So if you want a complete kit, if you want to buy everything that I sell, I forget, it's like $320. But that's for all like the weird rods and whatnot. So like the 576 rod, I'll show you just to give you an idea. The 576 rod is all by itself, and it's a single-ended rod. There's reason for that, is because this is a very different thread. It's M15 by 1.25. And it doesn't fit in a regular 3/4 inch threaded. This is actually 5/8 threaded, but whatever. It doesn't fit in there. So it's a single rod, and it's an odd piece. But if you do 576s, then it's helpful. So all I wanted to do today was get squish, and I already got it earlier, but things were not going the way that I wanted with that build. So scrap that build, redo it. It's better. It will be better. Am I missing? Sometimes I miss stuff too. I'm Wolfie. XP Light? What about XP Light? This is XP. So if anybody's curious about the powder coating, this is Mike, who did the powder coating for me. He is on OPE forum as Glock37, GLOCK 37. That's his handle, in case anybody's interested. Yeah, let's call that 32 thousandths. Same as before, but there. That's cool. And that's it. Now I can take this head off, and I think I'm going to send this out to get ported. If anybody needs port work done, then the guy I use most of the time is Rattler. And that's Mike Shetley, and he is in, I think he's in North Carolina. So I use him as often as possible to get stuff done for me. And that's about that. Got my squish. Good, good. There's plenty more to do here on this saw, obviously. But what I'd like to do, I think, is get that ported and get that done up. Could do seals and whatnot. I don't really feel like doing seals right now, and I think my family wants me to work on dinner. So let me go do that. Questions or comments? Anything else, guys? That's about all I got for you for this sort of stuff here. This should be a nice crankcase. The powder is really, really nice. Very, very heavy, and just makes a build, you know. All these bolts are tight. Nothing's crossed or nothing. It's good. Seriously appreciate it. Have a great evening. You as well. Have a great night. So yeah, I'll say goodnight. Matt'sChainsawParts.com. Anybody wants 288 top covers, which look like this. 288 tops. You can go to Matt'sChainsawParts.com, or you can contact me through the website if you want tools. I'm out. I'm gonna say goodnight. Thanks, guys. You have a great night, and we'll see you soon.